You should be a monster, ruthlessly ambitious, and then learn how to control it. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Because it doesn't mean that you can't be kind if you're strong, but it does mean you can't be strong if you're weak. If you're weak, you're
I'm Greg. Everyone calls me G-Regular because I'm just a regular white dude. You know why you started calling me that?
He's a plain white dude, so regular.
He's just a regular dude.
I suppose like G jerk off, like I see on the street, like all these steroid assholes who are on cocaine. I was like, oh, he's a normal guy, just like, you know, smoking weed and regular dude. Not he's a good G jerk off.
Makes sense now. Like when I first met Korilla, we were living on the soy in Soy Taid in Shillong.
Yo, was geht ab, Leute? Heute zeige ich euch die Soy Taid, die berühmte Fighter Street. Ihr dürft gespannt sein.
He was training professional fighters at the time, like one championship fighters, UFC fighters, local Muay Thai champions. He's always really good at explaining stuff, taking time to help people and make them understand why they're doing what they're doing, rather than just saying, do this, do that, do that.
What were your first impressions of him though? What did you think?
I just thought, who the fuck's this crazy jacked Asian dude?
Name's Soung. Rhymes with Dong.
Even though I was working for the business that he was working for as well, I didn't have the knowledge that he had even about training, about nutrition. Even though I could do the work, having this small skinny white boy telling you something, it's not going to work. Whereas when this guy who's shredded with a six-pack and he's like 30 years older than you and he's all natural, and you wake up on his floor at 7 AM in the morning and you turn around, he's blending moringa powder, spirulina, watercress. He was growing his own watercress on his fucking outside of his door in this little one bed. He's putting all this greens and blah 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 and into like a smoothie, and then he'll just go spit maybe a little bit out and then neck the rest and then neck the rest, and he would have that, then he wouldn't eat again. He would go and train in the sun barefooted, kettlebells, or people couldn't do it because it was burning their feet. And he's like, well, if you don't want to train with me, then go home. He wouldn't, you know. And then when you actually seeing him, the way he's eating, living, training, you wouldn't see him miss a day. He wouldn't miss a day. The way he goes about stuff, about his consistency, mentality, discipline, all key traits that you want to have in a business partner. Personally, so I seen this 5-6 years ago, before I even knew that I was going to do this business with him.
What is this?
He came here like 5 years ago, this dude, right? At my urging, I'm like, yo, come to Thailand, come to Thailand, come to Thailand. And he's just like the wicked grower. And not even that, like, he's just a wicked dude. Every time I meet him, I learn something new.
What you doing now?
Okay.
That's why we have worms. The worms come, they eat all this shit up.
Look sick or no?
Oh, this one, funny story, the turtle knocked it over and started eating it.
Really?
Yeah.
Turtle get high?
Fuck yeah.
Really?
If I just stayed in my lane and not been greedy, you know, drugs, 5 years, decision making.
Oh, what do you mean? You were on drugs?
Who wasn't?
So I'd already seen key traits that I wanted in any friend or partner, business-wise, you want to have. You want to have someone who's got discipline, who's consistent in what they do, who wants to help other people, not in it just for themselves. It made me a better person, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, so the law changed in Thailand. I was still here, obviously, but I hadn't seen him for a year.
Let's go to Thailand now, which has become the first country in Asia to legalize the growing and possession of marijuana.
How did you know all this shit was gonna change?
I didn't. Right place, right time.
So I've contacted him. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm still here. Come meet me. Straight away, fucking, we've hooked up. He said, if you want to be partners with me into business with this cannabis thing, then I said to him, I said to him, what do I need to do? And he said to me, put your money down, buy the equipment, get a fucking place, and then we're good to go.
When did you start growing weed?
College.
Why?
Opportunity presented itself.
What led you to Thailand?
No opportunities in America for someone that has like a criminal record.
Like Marley said before in the video I watched of him speaking about Soung, is if you burn him, he'll burn you. And this is exactly what one of the growers fucking stupidly done.
My name's Marley, we're in Thailand, Phuket, sweating balls, making soil.
What were your first impressions of Qae Bo? When did you first meet you?
Probably took a couple months to really understand or get to know him, because he tends to be quiet and observant at first. He's like the noble type. He's also a bit of an anarchist sometimes, but low-key, he wants everything to be correct and just, but he'll burn your ass if you play him. So, you know, I'm actually pretty down with that.
Now that they've done a shit grow and it's got mouldy and got pests and shit on it, they've got, what, fucking 80 kilos there and they don't know what to do with it. So then Soung's actually advised him to buy stuff to turn it into hash and blah, blah, blah. So he's still, even after all that time of him being fucked over and treating him like shit, he still gave them advice of what they should do with the stuff. So that just speaks volumes of the guy. Even if you do fuck him over and he does cut you out, he still doesn't want to see you fail.
I didn't expect any of this. People keep calling me, asking me how to do things, find things. I have to provide. So I usually don't say no.
There's so many different aspects to this game that people don't really realise until you actually get involved in it. And I was very lucky because me and Soung, the way we'd done it, he'd already had a farm going.
Hello.
Welcome. Shalom.
Welcome to our little humble farm.
The history of this farm.
It's like a good race car driver driving a Honda Civic. You know, you're trying to get the most out of it, but you know, eventually, you know, you top out. You know, so we need to get a better car and drive the shit out of it. It was a lab matching genetics with the farming techniques, soil mixes, nutrients, whatnot, and trying to figure out which would be the best for each lady, you know, what they like, what they don't like. This is very cramped. You definitely have gone way past the capacity of this place, so you have to step it up. Okay. Literally outgrown the place, you know.
And what's next for you guys here?
Bigger farm.
Okay, now you know the man, now his method. You're learning his techniques.
Yeah.
Like, how much of that is just like, whoa, blowing your mind? Like, break that down. What's that like?
Well, for 6 months it's been blowing my mind. It's like every day you're learning something new. He has that much knowledge up there that he can't physically tell you all at once. You don't have the capacity to take it in. I smoked since I was 15 years old, but I didn't have a f***ing clue. I don't even know how to germinate a seed, cut a clone. I didn't know how to transplant. I didn't know anything. I was literally a blank canvas. Blank canvas.
And what's the best case scenario? Best case scenario, I mean, if anything, I want to go backwards and be doing less, to be honest. It was easier just being like, hey, I just want do my own shit. Now I'm taking care of my shit, a whole bunch of other people's. I got people's life-saving invested at the work, you know, which is great. I'm happy that they believe in me. I'm positive it will come out to be something different. We have a good team, and everyone seems to follow. Everyone has good intentions.
My name's Tristan. I've been here, I don't know, five years now, and farming dirt with Korilla.
My name's Marley. We're in Thailand, Phuket, sweating balls, making soil.
Hi everybody. สวัสดีค่ะ
Don't know what's in the dirt.
So you're learning as you
Trust
go.
Korilla and the experts around. I'm just the labor.
I came over here to help Qae Bo start this company. Living soil, weed, everything really. And I came for a better lifestyle. I was making good money, but I was miserable.
เพราะฉะนั้นเราก็ต้องปลูกเอา3 ต้นเพราะว่ากระถางมันใหญ่
No, but how did you first meet Q? How did you meet Qae Bo?
The soy somewhere.
Okay.
I don't probably Ali's. I don't know.
Okay.
Or through John, but probably through I need to buy weed.
There's so many smaller aspects of the growing part of it that you don't understand until you do it, because you don't get to see it. I can go down to a shop downstairs and walk up the road and buy some cannabis and then go home and smoke it. But how was it made? How did it get there? Because I know how professional and good he is, I don't want to miss a stage.
Is Korean natural farming, is it like a well-known concept currently in Korea, or is it like a older ancient technique most people don't have a clue? Or
I'm thinking people been doing it for a while. They just put an acronym or a name to it finally. They're old techniques, condensed it all, put it in a book, and brought it to the people. It's like nothing groundbreaking or new. It's just stuff like old farmers have been doing for a while.
It's branded.
That's what we're gonna do. brand it,
Labeled.
and sell it for cheap.
It's only since I've been making my own soils. Obviously 6 months ago I didn't have a clue about good soil, bad soil, anything. Seeing what other people have in their pots, when you see the difference and you see what we are making and the quality.
And the soil's got a lot of juice in it. A lot of yummy.
You've got different sizes, so some a little bit smaller and some a little bit bigger stuff. You're saying we could potentially have a cheaper soil mix for people and a more expensive soil mix. This is one that would have the more expensive soil mix because this stuff costs a lot, but it does make the soil a lot better. It has taken a lot of information in, but I'm still only like maybe 40% of what I need to know. I can still double and triple the knowledge that I've got currently to get to where I need to be even half the man that he is.
Now he's moving into the next phase. He's doing this living soil. We're going into the jungle, we're getting microbes, we're making our own wetting agent, our own salt for this Korean natural farming from this Asian American Jack dude. Now he's talking Jadam.
Jadam, ultra low cost agriculture. And this is a really amazing organic agriculture system from South Korea using natural pesticides as well.
Some of the strains that we've got can't cope with this climate. We need to get the indigenous microorganisms to be able to let them cope with it. Like all this shit's growing with like bare minimum water, whereas we're feeding it nutrients and stuff and it still can't hack it. If you're doing organic nutrients, we've had 1 or 2 runs and a couple of strains still don't produce, or like they get to the last week of the flowering period and they just go, oh, I can't handle the heat anymore. And having all these microorganisms from this place, from the sea, from the high tide, low tide, you're giving your plants the best chance of survival in this local climate.
We went to different zones around this island, picked up mycelium from up on the hill, in the valley, on the dark side, the sunny side, by the ocean. So we got different mycelium. They're like more adapted on an evolutionary scale. They know how to deal with like the heat, the humidity better than like maybe mycelium from Europe. Because you get like the mycelium like in a bottle. It was cultured in a lab, in Europe or Canada or US. That's not tropics. So you try and bring those guys in and like try and play ball here. It's like bringing an Eskimo to the desert. Like, hey, good luck. You gonna do okay? You're fair skinned. Okay. you know what I'm saying?
One of the first things you told me when we started was make sure everything's clean as fuck. Cleanliness is key. Never be afraid of bugs. Embrace the bugs. Just know how to deal with them. Because if you create the right environment for your plants, you're creating the right environment for your bugs.
How did you learn?
Grandma, she used to like ferment stuff and do shit in the backyard. I'm like, okay, well, we'll try this too.
When did you start applying this to growing marijuana?
At least since day one. Failed miserably in the beginning, making hot soils. I didn't know balancing the nitrogen and the carbon. At the very beginning, I was trying to make my own organic stuff while doing synthetic grows. It's always a learning process,
Okay. Going back to when I said, I'll pay, tell me what we need. And then he sent me, buy sulfur, humeric acid, buy alfalfa, this, buy crab meal, shrimp paste, and buy bloody X, Y, and Z. And I'm going, fucking growing cannabis, mate. What the fuck's all this shit for?
He's making these cocktails for the soil, right? Like he's feeding the soil using techniques that he learned on grandma's farm.
I'm a white belt when it comes to nutrients, and especially when it comes to like soil.
Did you know that he was this, he had this Pandora's box of living soil in his brain, or what were your first impressions of the man?
I still don't know. I was gonna ask him earlier, I'm like, did you just like Google all this shit in the last few months and like studying all this, or is this stuff you've had like for years and years that you've kind of been waiting for an opportunity to apply it?
We're still learning ourselves, Like, as much as I'm talking now, and you're probably gonna go, oh, that guy knows a lot, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I do know enough to get by, but I'm not knowledgeable. He's still happy to learn new techniques at his stage of growing, which is 30 years of knowledge of growing, and still now anything new that comes out or that he could potentially use, he'll use.
To me, one of the major things I focused on is going right to the like root cause, or like the first principles level. Quality organic soil is going to create quality organic products and ingredients that people eat. Good soil it's at that real fundamental level of life, really. Everything beyond that's gonna be improved, and you don't need to be the person that's engaged with the final customer that's buying the food or in the restaurant or something, but getting in at the bottom level allows you to affect and impact that person.
Goodbye.
You can't just invent flow when you get disrupted. And you're Mr. Flow Stopper.
Yeah, this is so satisfying. Come here.
Yeah, no.
Don't get your hands dirty and bring your soul some peace by playing with the soil.
As long as it's good dirt, I'm happy. Get my hands in it. So this is cool.